Okay, day 3 I think of this restoration. I've read the manual properly, and that 1/4 mark is in this side, so behind the signal generator. So what I'm gonna do is take an 8mm socket and take this guy out. Correction, 7mm socket, which I've got right here. Problem is, this is the small shaft. The solution is, so my ratchet is a medium shaft. The solution is a medium to small converter. Back and back. In the background, human elements, podcast, Japanese people. So screw number 1, number 2, same size, and number 3 is the smaller one. So the one here is this size. And there it is. That 1/T mark that they were saying about. It's here. Haha. Sweet. And that needs to be aligned to this, probably, yeah, to this. Okay. I'm gonna give it a spin to understand how this spins inside. Okay, so engine spins. So that's how it spins. And I think the 1/4 T mark should be aligned to this thing. Yeah. Okay, continuing now in my quest to remove this cylinder. It's a whole block, one single block that contains 4 cylinders. I've put some WD-40 on top of these studs. So like in here. They seem to be pretty loose. But this one here, see how stiff this is? I think this is gonna be a problem. And so rusty here. These are loose, these are loose, that's loose, that's loose. This one here is not. I'm gonna try and shove something there, like a small flathead screwdriver or something, to get that rubble out. I've got this super small screwdriver. Hey, it fits in there. Man, the rust is like solid here. It kind of works, so I'm gonna work myself in with this, and then with a small wire, and hit it with some compressed air. A friend of mine, Christy, he suggested to take the studs out, but I'll try this method first, because I know these are way thinner than the actual hole. I hope this screwdriver is gonna survive this occasion. It helped me in a lot of things. Only the best spray existing known to man. Well, I'll try and get just the rusty ones out, yeah. So I'm cleaning these out, and I've got this. This is full of random bolts and nuts and stuff. I'm hoping I'm gonna find something here. Again, let's see if this one works. Ha ha ha. And one of these. I'll tighten them against each other and then try and, you know, undo this one while it's tight. Hopefully it's gonna take the stud out. So how I'm gonna do it, this is a 13mm nut. This is a 14. I'll put this in first. That, and then stick this key here. Make sure the ratchet goes the right way. Alright. And put this one on, this other one in. Like that. Okay, and now tighten them against each other. That's That's not going anywhere. And now, yes, it works, man. Ha! Thank you, Christy. Right now, for reference, these ones here. Doesn't want to go in. Fucking dickhead, because you're putting it in the wrong hole. This is short, long, same size long, same size long, same size long, short. And on the other side, it's a bit different. On the other side, you have short, same size, long, same size as these ones, long, like that, and then short, same size as the first two shorts. So this is how that stud looks. This is one of the good ones. Another one is out. I'm just gonna take the rest out and then in the meantime think about this one. Not a lot of stuff on it, just a bit in the middle. It's the best one out of all of them. Still has some discoloration here, but the texture is fine on this edge. Since I got my labeler, I don't know if it comes across, I'm just gonna label these. It says 2 up. Up is there, up as in the upward side of the engine, I don't know. And these will be down. Yeah, the shortest one actually came from here. Yeah, and this one came from here. I don't know, should have paid attention really. This one here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 up, is the best one, the best looking one. It's got no marks on it. Yeah, that's stuck, so I need to change this nut also. Yeah, this is the 4th one up. I didn't have to do any brushing to it, anything. It looks perfect. Okay, next one, this one. I'm down to the last one from the up section. Mystery solved. If this is symmetrical, and I think it is, because that was matching this one, and these two are matching, these are the same. So this one, initially I thought this is the down one, but it's the first one up, it's the 6th one up. Alright, so I figured it out. I need 2 nuts here, because they're too shit, so I need to distribute the force. With 2 nuts, it actually worked, taking this one out. This one had some rust here and a little bit here. Labeling them nice and neat. This is 4 down and the arrow points to the top. So it should be installed like that. I already know that this lump here goes in the engine, but it's cool to be organized. So how you do it, you first tighten these two together so that the edges fit, so you can put the ring key on. And then put your nut in and tighten that against both of them. This one is out also. That's how this looks. Not bad. A little bit of rust here and there. It's free. I needed to like give it some impulses like that. Heavy stuff down there. Alright, 2 nuts on this one. It's silly tight. Like, there's no way it's not gonna come out. no way. Be better. I tried to like tap the screw as much as I could on the base. More of this. Come on. Come on. Okay. Nothing, man. Try and tap it around the base. Yes, man. Yes, bitch. Fucking asshole. Yeah, man. So the tapping works. Sweet. So an impact could have helped me greatly here. Woo. This was the problem, screw. Yeah, it's more back and forth. That click motion can rip the screw actually. You don't want that. So, because something good has to come also from something that's bad, because this one is stuck in the engine, in the cylinder, it actually pulled the cylinder out. So I used this as a cylinder extraction tool. I couldn't help myself thinking that all of this disaster could have been avoided if I would just do this in the first place. Yep. You live, you learn. It's gonna fall in, but that's okay. Don't mind that. There's one water hose that needs to go. This one here. And now the cylinder is coming off. It looks like it doesn't want to come off. Why is that? Because of the chain, dumbass. It's coming off, and it's off. Come on. It's off. This, all these old gaskets, I need to scrape them off. Nothing's wrong with the cylinder, really. By the looks of things, nothing's wrong with the piston rings. Like these ones, they're really clean, man. Only this one is fucked, because it's fucked. I see metal shards all over the oil sound. I actually cleaned a bit of this one. Look how clean it is, man. This engine was new, goddammit. There's no play. Everything's good. It's just that stupid valve, man. Right, in order to remove this, I'll probably take this to the top and tap it with a hammer. Up, down, up, down, up, down until it gets out. And as for this one, I'll just clean it here, like that. The screw, see the amount of shit in there. Impressive. So what I'll do is take the drill, clean this, and then hopefully it's gonna go up. 13mm bit. Yeah, man. Hey, straight out. This is the worst one out of all of them. Look at the shit on all of it, almost. Yeah, this by far is the worst one. There's a lot of porous texture here. like a lot. This is after I cleaned it. So I think for this one I actually have to change it. Look at the amount of stuff that's here. It was in that hole. All of this stuff. New revelation. Brown, black with white stripe, green with white stripe is this one here that went to the igniter. So the signal generator is going into the igniter. That makes sense. Right, so all of these screws here with this one that was under the in front of the engine, this one. These are going in a bag. I need the space. I need to do some cleanup on aisle 5 because I'll transfer these on the shelf and that one, and then start removing the valves, inspecting them, and then stripping this off, and then continuing with this or with the cylinders. I want to take the cylinders out today also. A nice thing that I've seen, see these numbers here, 11, 7, 1, says there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 9. That's the order to tighten these. Ah, that's so cool. Glad I noticed that. Okay, but before disconnecting these valves, I need to disconnect this wire and actually remove the thermostat. So I've got a feeling I'm gonna twist this head a lot and it's not gonna like it. 7 and this adapter. And I need another wrench to hold it there, or something to hold it because it's spinning. Is it 12? It's 12. So that's twisting here. Let's straighten it up. Let's see. I think it's like a sealing paste. It used to be here. It's green stuff, or it's just oxide, copper oxide. So this is how the engine. So that's cylinder number 4. Thermostat here. On the bike it sits the other way around because the bike is like that. Thermostat. The thermostat is towards the back. Alright, so that's cylinder number 4. Exhaust, intake, exhaust. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna lay them up like that, exactly like this. 4, 3, 2, 1, exhaust, intake. I've just discovered the best way to pick up those these things with magnets. Take a bunch of magnets. Bang! Haha! Number 1. The little penny thing is that one inside. That actually comes off. So now it's orientation wise, it's with that middle circle towards the valve, so on the inside. See, it starts to slide off. Alright, cylinder number 4. Stay here. I'll just put them like that. Exhaust valve. Intake valve, same thing with a circly bit on the inside. Cylinder number 3. Exhaust, this time the anything stayed in the valve. Like that. It's magnetic also. Happy days. I'm just going to put it back in here. It's important you lay them out perfectly because these were measured to be exactly on the length of the valves. You have to measure the valve clearances and adjust these little pennies accordingly. You know. In different engines, you have a little screw that you can adjust to do the valve clearance. Here, probably this was too small back then, and they didn't have space to put those screws. I love this magnet stuff. Okay, now with the valves. Tool that I have looks a bit primitive. So this shape will sit on this one here, one there. It's gonna compress the spring. The valve stem's gonna come out, and see those things here, 1 and 2. You can use a magnet to take them off, and then the valve is released. There was some guy that said if you can't do every day one thing that scares you, then that's cool. This is that day and this is that thing. So this goes inside the valve. Oh yeah, and this lines up with the spring thingy. Sunlight. So see, when I compressed it now, those two thingies next to the valve stem in the middle, they're coming loose. So now I can just take this magnet tool and hopefully, not yet, I need to compress more. Check this out. One, aha, and the second one. Now, decompression. Alright. This is the first piece that catches those two initial pieces that I took out. I'm going to put it like that. And then you got two springs, no way. There's one spring, hold on. One little spring in the middle. Note to self, there's more, it's denser here. And then the second spring, this one is the same, it's got more coils on the bottom. And there's the valve, it came off. Some metal shards in there. This one is obviously broken. Look how it's bent. It doesn't look, the stem doesn't look rusty. It doesn't look like it's overheated. It's not cracked. I figured it out. I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but this black stuff here, maybe this black stuff blocked the valve. It didn't go back. Yeah, maybe. And that's what caused it. And if there's black stuff here on the exhaust, it means the valve wasn't closing anyway. It wasn't closing properly. There's no play in this one. There's a tiny bit of play in this one. Maybe that was it. There's another thing that came off. This is the spring bed that was deep down inside here. Down there. And there's another thing that should come off. But I don't know how to take it out. This valve stem seal, it's like rubbery and I don't want to damage it. I'll have to look online to see how. So now here's what happened. That's a good valve bed, this one here. Look how nice and even that is. That's the broken one. Yeah. I'll open another exhaust valve, the third one, third cylinder, and see how that is. And then compare it to the demolished one. Oh, holy fuck. How does this work? This lip is too high for me to get this extractor in there. Oh man. Yeah, these need to be longer. This screw here can wreck the valve, so I'll try and use this. This is like a little rubber draft stopper for a door, but it's rubbery enough and it's hard enough that I think it's gonna work. I'll cut like a little square or a circle. This thing is a spring thingy. This is in the middle. Hey, it works. It spins the whole valve. Yeah, it definitely works. This plastic bit is life-changing, man. And there's no damage to it, because it's quite hard, like I said. Huh. And we start removing. Spring cap. Big spring. Small spring. Spring seat. Grab and skin. There it is. Okay. Now the valve should fly down. And it did, but it was sticky. That's it, man. That's why. It was sticking. So the sad part is this was totally preventable. If I would have done this initially before starting it, this would have been a simple cleanup job. Okay. Yeah, look. There's this sut thing all the way to here where it catches in the valve guide. This thing. That's what caused it. This is what caused it. So improper shutting on the valve, and you can see it here because it's discolorated, discolored. See this black? It means stuff went in, and all this soot. It's not good for anybody. That's what caused it, and it's only on the exhaust valves. I don't even need to take the intake valves out. I'll take them anyway. But yeah, that's what caused it. I wonder what you use to clean this. Carb cleaner? Let's try it. Because a wire brush I don't think is a good idea. Seems to come off with carb cleaner. Or not. After a bit of research online, I've seen two methods of cleaning valves. One was with that thing and a wire brush wheel, which I think it's too coarse and you're gonna scratch the stem. Another one was, let's see if it works. does work. Now on the face. Haha, I remember how it was. Now it's shiny. It's still like, this is silky smooth and then it becomes like hard. On some deposits you can take like a sharp thingy, because there's some that just don't want to go just like that. Take a fairly sharp thing, just scrape them off. Man, it's so clean now. There's some dots here. Let's see for the big test. Clean valve. It still sticks. Man, it's perfect now. Might not be able to see, but there's like 3 little holes in this valve stem neck. I'm guessing that's what started the breakage. I'll have to research on that, but holes are never good. For the record, the exhaust valve has the head, it's smaller than the intake valve. Okay, now the other valve, the intake valve. It's a bit fiddly until you get it, but after you get it, I think it's cool. And now, this should slide off. Yeah, this sticks also a bit. Or? Now, the intake valves are cool. The sticking, I think it's because of the stem seal. It's not bad. Not as bad, nowhere near as bad as the exhaust valves. And you can see here it's sealing properly. It's not, the seat is like, it's got some discoloration here and there. So that's before. And after. Oh man, this wire wool is magic. After. Sweet. Yeah, this is way better than the exhaust one. You can even feel it, it's super smooth. Let's test it now. See if it's still sticking. Man, no more sticking, nothing. Just for comparison, this is the bent intake valve from cylinder number 4. What? Yeah, for the cylinder number 2 and 3, I need these to be longer, so I can't use this. I need to find the tool. For the record, this pin here was here. So I took it off and I'm gonna put it in the same bag with cylinder number 2. Exhaust, because it's closer to it. Just gonna put it here. This is how I've laid them down. Exhaust intake, cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the broken one. That's the bent one. This is the pin that I was saying earlier. This one here is going to be in the same bag with cylinder number 2. I'm going to bag these and these because they're done. This head has 1, 2, 3, 4 big Allen screws. They're probably orifices, so when you clean it you can blow stuff in there. They're covered in, all around them there's like black silicone. I'm gonna attempt to open them. See what's inside. Yep, it does work. Once you break them loose, then it's easy. Yeah, there's some kind of plugs. Most definitely for cleaning. By the looks of it, it's the water channel. Like the water orifice, it looks like this. Silicone all around it. Forgot to mention, for these 8mm Allen key. For reference, the diameter of the valve head is 20.51 millimeters. The size of the valve head for the intake (23.55). Now, since I've measured it with the plastic bag, I'm gonna measure one. How thick is this? It's 0.3 millimeters thickness, so 2 layers of plastic, 0.3 millimeters. The thickness of these valves, the stem, is 4.94 millimeters. The length of the intake, I'm just gonna measure it in the bag, 88.3 millimeters. The exhaust valve is 87.37. The diameter of this little spacer is 10.95 millimeters. 10.95, and the thickness varies from the valve, like with valve to valve, but this one is 2.51 millimeters. For comparison, this is an intake spacer. The diameter of this one is 11.05 millimeters, and the thickness is 2.44 millimeters.